If you're trying to break into professional architectural photography, there's one mistake that makes photographers look instantly inexperienced. And most photographers don't even realize they're doing it. They send a message like, "Hi, it will be $1,200 to photograph your project." That's it. No scope, no licensing, no deliverables, and no breakdown. And to architects, developers, and marketing teams, that looks completely unprofessional. Architectural photography projects are not priced like real estate photography. They require a professional estimate. In this video, I'm going to show you how professional architectural photography estimates are structured so you can present pricing the same way working professionals do. If we haven't met yet, I'm William Widman. I've been a professional photographer for over 16 years, shooting a range of architectural projects that include hotels and resorts, luxury residential, commercial buildings, universities and institutional spaces, and much more. And on this channel, Architecture Photography Pro, I talk about the business side of architectural photography. Because a lot of photographers are interested in moving into the space, but the industry works very different from other areas of photography, like weddings, portraits, or real estate photography. Clients find photographers in different ways, projects are structured differently, and pricing works very differently too. By the way, if you want a great resource to help you get started today, a completely free PDF guide, I've put together the Architecture Photography Pricing Starter Kit. You'll find the link in the description below, along with some other great resources. Because professional architecture photography involves much more than just showing up and taking photos. In this video, you'll learn three important things. First, how professional architecture photography estimates are structured. Second, what information architects and developers expect to see in an estimate. And third, how to avoid the most common pricing mistakes photographers make when moving from real estate photography into professional architectural photography. Over the years, I've worked with architects, developers, hospitality brands, luxury residential, and one of the biggest things photographers struggle with when transitioning into this field is how to structure a professional estimate. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to present a professional estimate that clients actually take seriously. Most photographers come into architectural photography from real estate photography. Real estate pricing is simple. You might charge $200 or $300 for a house, maybe $500 for a larger property. But architectural photography projects are completely different. These projects often involve architects, developers, marketing agencies, and hospitality brands. And the projects themselves can include multiple shoot days, licensing usage, production planning, post-production, assistants, and stylists. So when photographers send a message, something like, "The project will cost $1,200, it creates two big problems. First, it makes the photographer look inexperienced. And second, it often leads to massive underpricing. Okay, so let's walk through the basic structure of architecture photography estimates. Professional architecture photography estimates usually include 5 main sections. Let's walk through each one. The first section is the project information. The first section outlines the project details. Things like the client name, project location, shoot dates, project description, and who the images are for. For example, is the project for an architect portfolio, a developer marketing campaign, a hotel brand, a university publication? Because this information helps define how the images will be used, which directly affects licensing. Okay, section 2, the scope of work. The scope of work section defines exactly what you're being hired to do. This is extremely important because it prevents scope creep. Your estimate should clarify things like the number of shoot days, number of final images delivered, whether drone photography is required, do you require twilight photography, and interior and exterior coverage. Without this section, the clients may assume that the project includes far more than you originally discussed, and that's what they call scope creep. Section 3 of the estimate is the creative or shoot fees, and this is typically structured as a day rate or a project rate. For example, is it a 1 shoot day, 2 shoot days, half a day shoot? This fee will cover things like the photographer's time and planning and coordination for the shoot, and then shooting the project. But this is only one part of the estimate. Section 4 is licensing and image usage. This is one of the most important parts of architecture photography pricing. The clients aren't just paying for photos, they're paying for how the images will be used. And there's a variety of ways they'll use the images, including things like an architect's portfolio, website marketing, advertising campaigns, or editorial publications. Different usage rights can affect pricing. This is one area where photographers often leave a lot of money on the table because they don't include licensing in their estimates. The 5th section are production and post-production costs, and this will include things like post-production editing, assistance, travel, equipment rentals, location permits, or maybe even styling or staging. By clearly listing these items, the client understands exactly how the project pricing is structured, and it prevents confusion later. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap. A professional architecture photography estimate usually includes 5 main sections. 1. Project information. 2. Scope of work. 3. The creative fee. 4. Licensing and usage. And number 5. Production and post-production costs. When architecture photographers structure their estimates this way, 3 things will happen. First, clients understand exactly what they're approving. Second, you avoid scope creep. And third, you position yourself as a professional photographer who understands how architectural projects work. If you're serious about transitioning into architecture photography, you have to understand the business model. It's not just about things like lighting. Download the free PDF guide, the Architecture Photography Pricing Starter Kit. Learn how commercial pricing works and start positioning yourself correctly. Now, obviously, there's a lot more that goes into transitioning into architecture photography than I can cover in one video. But if you're serious about moving into architecture photography, I created a great resource that can help. It's called the Architecture Photography Business Blueprint Bundle, which includes 5 in-depth PDF guides designed to give photographers a clear framework and roadmap to architecture photography pricing, licensing, and contracts. You can access all of these great resources using the link in the description below. Photographers who start using structured estimates often notice something interesting. Clients begin treating them differently. Instead of seeing them as just another photographer sending a quick price, they start seeing them as a professional creative partner who understands architectural projects. And that shift can make a big difference when you're trying to move from $200 real estate jobs to $2,000 to maybe $10,000 architectural photography projects. If you're serious about moving into architectural photography, you need to understand something important. Taking great photos is only part of the job. What really separates photographers working on $200 real estate jobs from photographers working on $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000 architectural projects is understanding the business side of the industry. Things like pricing projects properly, licensing images correctly, creating professional estimates, and communicating clearly with architects, developers, and higher-end clients. These are the systems that allow photographers to move from small residential shoots to high-end architectural clients. So if you want to keep learning about the business side of professional architectural photography, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Because on this channel I talk about the things that most photography education ignores. Things like architecture photography pricing, licensing your images, working with architects, developers, interior designers, and building a professional photography business. And those are the skills that actually help photographers build sustainable careers. Architectural photography is one of the most rewarding specialties in photography, but the photographers who succeed in this field don't just understand how to take great photos, they understand the business side of the industry. Pricing, licensing, estimates, and great client communication. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and don't forget to get the free PDF guides in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.